Stop what you're doing for a second. God just showed me something big about you, and I can tell you exactly why you're here. Listening to this right now. You will miss the thing that is about to change everything if you leave. This moment didn't just happen by chance. This message is designed just for you and no one else. Before you try to figure out what's going on, take a deep breath and listen with more than just your thoughts. The message you're about to hear is from God and comes at the perfect time. It feels different because it is different. That calm feeling in your chest, like something clicked, like you already knew these words. It's not just in your head. This is the right way to align. Right on the edge of something very important, you are. A big change in faith that might take place today, tonight, or in a few hours. Now is the right time. Habakkuk 2:3 says, "The vision is still for a set time, though it tries, wait for it, because it will surely come." A Bible verse. This video tells you why you were brought here. What has been awakening inside you, and the meeting that will change your life right now. You can't just watch this for fun. Don't think this is just to get you pumped up. This is God stepping in. A time when things calm down just enough to hear and see the truth. If you read this all the way to the end, you'll understand your journey better, know what to do next, and understand why everything is happening now and not later. The message from God comes to you just at the right time, when your spiritual path is beginning to become clear. Maybe you felt it as a need to move, a new awareness, or the fact that you can't stand things that used to feel normal. You knew something was changing, but you didn't know how to say it. There is a change. You are about to meet someone that will change your life. Not by chance, not out of the blue, but on purpose, with a plan and at just the right time from God. It looks like God has sent someone to help you. They won't take you away from what you're supposed to do when they show up. They'll make sure of it. They won't make you whole. They will bring out what God already has in you. The right time has always been needed for your special calling. This message didn't show up before because of this. If God wants to wake up someone early, He has a good reason. You weren't supposed to hear this when you were already confused. Now, when you can understand things better, your spirit is ready to see the truth without fear. Is the right time for you to hear it. Something inside you should feel steady instead of stressed or worried. That means things are going to work out. It's a sign of a special connection when you feel like you're being heard and not just being talked into something. This message may not seem new to you because your soul already knew what your mind is only now beginning to understand. Because of this, God talks to His chosen people in a clear, quiet way that doesn't force anything. Everything I have covered across this channel is now in one place. The prayers, the teachings, the daily blessings, it is all inside the Daily Miracle Manual. Link in the description. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community, through the link in the description or the pinned comment. You aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Type 777 in the comments if this message makes you feel something. Not as a ritual or a belief in the supernatural, but as a simple way to say yes, and let God know when it's time to talk to you. Things in your life didn't just happen by chance. The delays weren't God telling them no. When you felt alone, it wasn't because you were rejected. There was no failure in the confusion. It was all getting you ready. Meetings that change people's lives don't come from God when they aren't ready for them. To see real alignment, you had to get stable enough that you didn't think it was just a strong feeling. This is the reason why your spiritual awakening wasn't a big deal. It kept coming. You began to see through things that used to be strong over you. It became clear to you that some paths were no longer right. You could feel your own light, even if you couldn't show it all yet. That light is very important. And it's been checked out because it's important. There is a real fight going on. Not a physical one, but a good one. A fight to get clear on who you are and what you're here to do. People who have been chosen feel this battle more deeply because their light is so strong. Know this very well if you've ever felt resistance for no reason, a weight you can't explain, or pressure that you can't see coming from anywhere. You're not hurt. You're important. When God warns us about something, it's important. God gets the important things ready. I want to tell you the truth. Sometimes I felt like I was the only one in the world, and every door I tried to open seemed to be locked before I even knocked. I remember nights when I wondered if I was hearing God wrong, or if the calling I felt inside me was all in my head. At times, I felt like I was being punished for something I couldn't even think of. But I now understand, I see very clearly, that those times weren't about being left alone. They were scheduled times. God didn't hide anything from me. He was getting me ready. For those of you who are feeling the weight of being alone, or the sting of things being late right now, I need you to hear this. You aren't being forgotten. You're being put where you belong. There is one simple truth that this message is all about. Don't forget about it. This is not a lie. Someone called you. You didn't just become aware of something. You didn't just get stronger by chance. It wasn't by chance that you were able to keep going. You're still standing there because people need your light. What's coming into your life will need you to be awake, rooted, and not scared. The person God sent to change your life isn't coming to show off. They are coming to meet you in the right place. They won't make you feel excited, but calm and clear. They won't make you feel rushed, but at ease. The complete guide, every daily prayer, every spiritual tool. Everything I've put together to help you grow your faith is down in the description. It's called the Daily Miracle Manual. Now, stay right here with me, because as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Type 111 if this moved you deeply and made you feel like, this is for me. You know for sure that you were called, because you no longer have any doubts or fears. Let's get back to the main point of this message, because it needs to be said again in a clear and strong way. This is God's message. You're not making up what you're going through. The weight wasn't made bigger than it was. You were right about the quiet times. Someone called you because you were called. Your path was never going to be the same as everyone else's. You felt like the battle was real. It was planned to be hard, and the light you carry is important. So it had to be made stronger before it could be shared. It wasn't meant for walking alone to define you. It was meant to shape you. Too early for a special link to happen. It won't be able to find a chosen one if they are still trying to figure out who they are and what they're worth based on what other people think. Someone sent by God to change your life doesn't show up to make you feel safer. They show up to help you line up better. You wouldn't have been ready for that growth. God made things go more slowly. Being alone wasn't romantic or fancy. It was uncomfortable, quiet, and sometimes hard to understand. There were times when you couldn't believe it was really you, and that something was wrong. That questioning wasn't a sign of weakness. It got rid of false ideas. You learned how to be alone with yourself without anything else going on. To know your own voice and be able to hear your gut feeling without anything getting in the way. That isn't a punishment. That's getting ready. In every case, God separates before He connects. It wasn't because you failed when people stopped talking to you, relationships ended without a big goodbye, or people drifted away. It's because your spiritual awakening has changed the way you live inside. When things weren't right before, you just put up with them. Now you feel it. Things that used to make you feel fine started to wear you down. Some connections made you feel small, made you have to explain yourself, and made you put on a show. Your spirit told you no to that in a quiet way long before your mind knew why. For a divine calling to be clear, there can't be a lot of emotional noise. A long time ago, I remember how painful it was to be apart from someone. It felt strange to see friends I had known for years. Conversations that used to get me excited now make me feel worn out. I believed I had a problem. I thought my spirit was getting proud, cold, and far away. But the truth was not like that at all. I didn't pull away from people. I felt pulled toward my purpose, which needs a different kind of energy. Don't feel bad about noticing that some relationships don't work the same way they used to, if you felt this change. Don't stay where your spirit has already gone. You are not being asked by God to leave people behind. He wants you to respect the unique frequency He has set for you. Before sending you on your destiny, God gets rid of anything that might get in the way. This is because destiny needs you to be present, wise, and strong. If the person who would change your life showed up too soon, you might have attached yourself instead of connecting, relied on them instead of getting to know them as a partner, and mistaken a strong feeling for truth and a sense of urgency for love. That would have made your goal take longer. You didn't end relationships because you were too much or too little. They went away because they weren't made to support the person you were becoming. Some people were meant to teach you lessons, not do all of your work in life. Some connections were meant to show you what your limits are. Some were meant to show you loops that needed to end. Some were just mirrors that showed you where you needed to heal. They were all useful. People who are impatient base their lives on important dates and events. Divine timing is based on how whole and ready you are for life. God was making sure that when the time came, you wouldn't mess it up out of fear or insecurity while you were wondering why things were taking so long. You were never behind in life. You were always on time. We will never forget you. You were getting stronger. The battle you were in wasn't just outside. It happened inside, was quiet, and didn't change. Doubt made you question what you thought was right. Fear made your faith test. When you needed to let go in order to grow, old parts of you tried to hold you back. That fight with yourself wasn't a sign of failure. It showed that something important was being kept safe. Light makes things resisted. You can't just say that. That's a rule from God. Your spiritual awakening happened in stages, because too much of a sudden awakening can make the soul unstable. God slowly showed you the truth so that you could really understand it, live it, and act on it. You learned to be strong on your own without getting mean. You learned how to be on your own without making yourself closed off. You became less alone as you learned to trust yourself. The key was this balance. It takes two stable people, not one steady person, and one always looking for there to be a divine connection. Before you could walk with the person sent to change your life, you had to get stronger emotionally. That strength doesn't come from reading or thinking good things. It comes from having real experiences, being by yourself, and making the choice to grow. You stopped asking other people to confirm your path when no one was looking. You stopped telling people what your limits were. You stopped trying to make connections, even though it cost you your peace. You didn't feel alone after these changes. They made you strong and able to keep yourself. And being independent is important for the next step. Before God could bring someone who could see you clearly, you had to know who you are. If not, you might have given them power they weren't supposed to have. You may have thought that being recognized was the same thing as being saved. It's possible that you gave up your own calling to fit in with theirs. Every quiet night, every message that wasn't answered, and every time you felt like no one was seeing you was making you smarter, stronger, and more spiritually in charge. You learned how to find alignment and connection without feeling desperate or scared. This is what caused the delay. You were called, and when you're called, you have to do something. Don't just show off the light you carry. It works. It wakes people up, heals them, changes things, and wakes them up. And because it does, it had to be kept safe until you could hold it without it getting smaller or hiding. You are strong, and so is the battle. You didn't make it through because things were easy. God kept you going. You didn't walk by yourself because you were left behind. That's why you walked alone. You were getting ready to walk right. Type 111 if this moved you. As of right now, without doubt or fear that you are called. A connection with God is not mysterious, chaotic, or hard to understand. That's the first thing you need to understand well. Being confused doesn't mean you're aligned. Anxiety isn't a sign of what will happen. Feelings of instability are not proof of spiritual meaning. It's not because you're awakened that you have those ideas. A connection with God is a good match. When two stable people meet and find that their values, timing, and level of awareness all match up naturally. There is no noise from this connection. It comes in peace. It's not asking for your attention. It makes you stand out. There is no chaos inside you when you meet the person sent to change your life. There is no doubt. There's no need to label it right away. Being present is one thing. You feel like something inside you calms down instead of getting tense. Your body doesn't get scared. Your gut feeling doesn't go away. You don't lose your sense of self. In your heart, you know what you're feeling before you can put it into words. You may find that it's easier to talk to people when you're not trying to impress them. It doesn't feel weird or strange to be quiet. You're not trying to persuade or impress them. You're just here now. That being there is the signal. Your spirit is recognizing something familiar, not because it remembers it, but because it is in the right place. A lot of people get this wrong because alignment and attraction feel different. Poles of attraction. Alignment stays stable. Attraction makes your ego happy. In alignment, your soul is stable. Urgency is often caused by attraction. Being in sync makes you patient. The person God sent won't make you crazy. They'll let you know. You won't have to lose yourself to keep this connection going. It will make you want to grow into the person you already are. This is something I learned the hard way. I thought that some connections in my past that felt electric, exciting, and intense were signs of my fate. I thought it must be from God because something made me shake. I believed it had to mean something eternal since I felt so strongly about it. Even so, alignment and intensity are not the same thing. A calling is not the same as chemistry. I now know that God's plans don't make you unstable. They make you feel better. You don't feel chaos when you're with them. They make things clear. When the right person comes along, you won't feel like you're giving up something by keeping them. When they see you, you'll feel like you're finally becoming yourself. They want you to get better. That's how you know this is a link with God. After the encounter, growth is unavoidable. Not over the top or forced, but clear. Things start to look better to you. You don't hesitate before making a choice. You do it with confidence. You feel safe and supported without being pushed around. No one can see you, but you feel seen. The sign is peace. It's the clarity that confirms. The truth is the base. You won't be taken away from God's message by this link. It helps you connect with it more. Things that you've been feeling inside start to show up in public. Thoughts move forward. Your goal seems closer. Resistance goes away. Not because life gets easier, but because getting things in line gets rid of problems that aren't necessary. In real life, this is how God's message works. There is no fantasy, no putting someone on a pedestal, and no false idea that everything is perfect. People like this exist and are real. Still, just being around them makes you feel holy in a way that isn't worship or dependence, but activation. They don't protect you. They make you remember. They don't make you whole. They show who you are. They aren't the voice of God. They say it's true. The battle you lived through made you smarter. So when this time comes, you won't mistake your strong feelings for truth. Don't think that old hurts are strong bonds. Chemists don't treat their job as a calling. You learn to find peace, even when excitement tries to take your attention away during your spiritual awakening. You'll know this connection is divine because it knows your limits and doesn't push them. It doesn't push you, it just goes at your own pace. It works with your calling instead of against it. In a world where you're used to chaos, it feels steady. This meeting is not meant to be fun for you. It will come to line you up. God is also careful about who can be close to your light because it is needed. The person who was sent to make a difference in your life will not fade away when you shine. They won't get smaller as you get bigger. They won't be afraid of how clear you are. It will be clear to them. It works both ways too. They feel strong too, just like you do. They are awake at the same time that you are. When two people who are aware of each other meet at the same time, they have a divine connection. That moment is not a mistake. The right time for recognition is when both people are ready to hold it without changing it. That's why you don't need to look very hard. That's why you shouldn't try to make things happen. That's why you were asked to be patient. God never forgets His plans, and when alignment is real, you don't have to look for it. Don't forget that this is God's message. People called you because your light is important. The battle was real because what you carry is important. And peace is the only way to get noticed. It will happen, and you won't question yourself. You won't need other people to give you signs. You will just know, not out loud or emotionally, but clearly, deeply, and calmly. That knowing is the reward of awakening. If you want the full guide with every prayer and lesson I've compiled for this community, check the description for the Daily Miracle Manual. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. If this moved you deeply, if it made you say, "I get it," one wave and type. Because you know it for sure and with strength now. Someone called you. A meeting that changes your life is not a romantic fantasy. And it's not a rescue for their feelings. It's an activation on a spiritual level. When readiness meets alignment, things really start to move. This person doesn't make you whole. They don't make you feel whole. They don't turn into your source. They bring out what God put inside you and was just waiting for you to be strong enough to use. Before this meeting, you carried your calling in a quiet way. You could feel it, protected it, and sometimes had doubts about it. The calling starts to move after this meeting. You do it not because someone else pushes you, but because something inside you opens up. The courage that was sleeping is now awake. Clarity that seemed far away becomes useful. You can now act on direction that seemed vague at first. Stop asking the same questions over and over again. You no longer hesitate at the edge of choices. You already know what to do. Stop making deals based on fear. The experience doesn't make you brave, but it does make you honest. Being honest about what you need to do. Being honest about what doesn't fit anymore. Sincere about what you need to let go of. After that, things move faster. Not because time goes faster, but because there is no longer any resistance. You're no longer pulling against yourself. Alignment gets rid of friction. Now, the energy that was wasted on confusion is going toward getting things done. This is why chances seem to come up more often. This is why talks have more meaning. This is why it's easier to open doors. Divine timing makes things move forward. This meeting is directly related to your goal and won't be a distraction. Your goal gets clearer instead of less clear. Your confidence stays the same instead of rising. You feel strong without being cocky. You feel supported without becoming reliant on them. That balance was meant to be there. After a life-changing event, responsibility grows. A lot of people don't expect this. You can no longer act like you don't know when God sets something inside you free. There is no longer any room for you to return to comfort. The meeting holds you accountable, not by putting pressure on you, but by making it clear what you need to do now. The person who was sent to you to change your life doesn't move you forward. They walk next to you as you move forward. They don't decide what you should do. They show you how strong you really are. They don't take over your job. They value it. That's how you know this meeting is divine. You feel like you have more control over your life. It gets easier to hear your voice. Your inner authority grows stronger. You don't get lost. You take back who you are. This moment was planned by God, not to make life easier, but to make it more true. The reward isn't comfort. It's called alignment, and it needs action. You are less likely to put up with things that drain you after this experience. Less willing to wait for things to line up, and less eager to do what you already know you need to do. Before, the fight was just to stay alive. After that, it's up to you to protect what you have. Now that you have clarity, you must honor it. Now that you can see better, you have to take care of what you see. Due to this, the meeting will only happen when you are ready to handle it. There's no sense of force. There's no rush. Still, everything seems planned. The right talks take place. The right ideas come to you. The doors on the right open. You were lucky, but you were also in the right place because of how things were set up. It's not up to chance. Randomness is not a waste of God's precision. This encounter doesn't get rid of problems. It changes the way you see them. You don't see problems as signals to stop anymore. You take them as signs to get better. It's no longer personal for you to face resistance. You know that friction happens when things move. And now that you're moving, resistance doesn't scare you anymore. This shows spiritual maturity at work. Let me tell you something unique about myself. My purpose used to seem like it would come to me like a lightning strike, sudden, dramatic, and clear. I thought God would use big signs and wonders to let people know that one day I would wake up knowing everything for sure and having no questions. That's not how it went for me, though. I also don't think that's how it works for most chosen ones. Instead, purpose showed itself quietly through small acts of obedience. Choices I made when no one was looking, and times of getting ready that felt like they took too long. The person who helped me find that purpose didn't show up with fireworks either. When they got there, there was peace. They didn't make my world shake. They made it steady. The meeting that will change your life might not feel the way you think it will. It might not be loud or exciting. It might feel surprisingly calm and easy, but don't think that it's not important just because it's simple. Most of the time, God's most powerful moves happen in everyday life. You were called because your life is meant to do more than just make things easier. The mission is real, so the battle was real too. And the light you carry isn't just a sign. It does its job. You were ready for what this encounter opens up for you, so you didn't lose yourself. You were late so that you could get there on time. You were put through tests to see how strong you are. You are now in place. Type Wonder 11 if this moved you. Because you are sure and strong about it now. Someone called you. You will feel connected in a way that words can't describe. It will be easy to have conversations. It won't feel weird or uncomfortable to be quiet. You won't feel like you have to perform or show off. It will be enough for you to just be yourself. This is the sign of God's approval. Comfort without giving up who you are, ease without giving up. But many people miss this. The end doesn't come with this encounter. It's time to begin. This connection isn't meant to make you feel at ease. It's meant to push you toward your calling. This person won't let you go with the flow. They won't let you stay where you are. That's not because they will criticize you, but because they will show you how to live a purposeful life. And you'll find that having them in your life makes you braver. Not because they tell you what to do, but because they support the choices you make. Not because they carry your weight, but because they show you how strong you are. They see you as whole, not because they make you whole. This is what God wants. People don't come from God to save you. He sends people to find you and say hello. And when you realize that, something inside you wakes up. This meeting doesn't just happen at random. It's correct. It's planned out. There has been a bigger plan going on since before you even knew what a calling was. And the fact that you are hearing this message right now, and that these words are hitting you as clear and important, is proof that the time has come. This is not a coincidence that you are hearing it. This meeting is a divine appointment, and God is ready for it. I want you to understand something that lots of people miss when they're looking for a spirit link. The person sent to change your life isn't coming to make you whole again. They are coming to make something whole that is already whole. There is a big difference between them. You will miss the whole point of the alignment if you go into this meeting thinking that someone else will complete you. You will expect things from them that they were never meant to do. They will be able to control your peace, your purpose, and your sense of self-worth. And that's not what God meant. Here's the truth. You are whole in Him already. You are already complete in your calling. This person does not bring completion. It proves something. They back up what God has already said about you. They turn the light you've been carrying back to you, even when you couldn't see it clearly. Too many chosen ones have ruined divine encounters because they went in from a place of not having enough instead of being whole. They needed someone to validate them, save them, and make sense of their lives so badly that they held on too tight and scared away the very alignment. What God was bringing. Do not make that mistake. Don't go into this meeting feeling desperate. Use your own strengths to deal with it. Before they come, know who you are. Know how much someone is worth before they say it. Know who's calling before they say yes. When you are that self-aware, you will attract someone who is also self-aware, not someone who wants to take advantage of your uncertainty. This is why getting ready was important. That's why it was important to be alone. That's why God took His time making you better before letting this connection into your life. That you were strong enough to take it without losing yourself in it. This is the last part of the meeting. I want you to feel the weight of what is about to change. This is more than just meeting someone. This is about moving on to the next part of your calling. This is about alignment that helps you reach your goal faster. This is about momentum that has been building in the background and is about to show up in the open. Things will feel different in the days to come. There will be times you can't ignore. There will be conversations that seem to have been planned by God. There will be times when chances come up that you didn't even try to find. You will find doors you didn't know existed. It's not luck. This is moving alignment. And in the middle of it all will be someone whose presence makes things clear instead of fuzzy. Instead of chaos, there is peace. There is confirmation instead of doubt. When you meet them, your spirit will know who they are before your mind can explain why. That's the sign of exactly the right time. Do not worship this person when they come. Do not put them somewhere that only God should be. They are people. They have flaws. They are each on their own path to growth and improvement. The fact that they are perfect is not what makes this connection divine. It means that your goals are in line with each other. They're not going to save you. They are working with you to complete your mission. They're not your source. They show you what you look like. They don't carry your calling for you. They walk with you while you carry it. And that partnership, which is based on mutual respect and a common goal, is what changes the mood and makes new opportunities possible. This has happened to me before. Some people have come into my life at just the right time, not a day early or a day late. They didn't make my life easier, but they helped me see my purpose more clearly. They didn't take away my problems, but they helped me remember why those problems were important. They didn't carry my loads, but they stood by me while I did. Something changed when they stood together. Years-old doors that had been locked opened. Where rejection had been common, favor showed up. There was no longer any confusion. Momentum took the place of stagnation. It's not because they did something magical, but because God always speeds up things that He has already started. This is what you'll get. This is what heaven is setting up. The person who was sent to change your life is already on their way as you read these words. They are already getting ready. They are already being put in place. You will know for sure that this was written a long time before you met when the time comes to recognize it. That being said, your job is easy until then. Stay in line, don't move around. Pay attention to what God has already told you. Do not chase. Do not force. Do not attempt to change things to speed up this process. Believe in the timing. Believe in the process. Have faith that the one who started this work in you will see it through to the end. And don't think too much about the meeting when it finally happens. Don't think about it too much. Don't try to guess what your spirit already knows. Just take it in. Respect it. Be sure of yourself and your steps as you move forward. Because this isn't the start of something unknown. This is the next part of something that was always meant to happen. There's something I need to talk about right away, because I know the questions you have right now. You want to know when. You want to know how. When this person shows up, you're not sure if you will recognize them or if you will miss them. Let me calm you down. You won't forget this. Divine appointments don't depend on how well you know or judge things. They depend on God's. He will make sure this meeting happens if He has planned it. It's not your job to make it happen. It's your job to stay open to it. But here's what you need to know about divine timing. People don't understand how it works because it has its own schedule. It won't give in to your need for speed. It doesn't change because you can't wait. It happens based on readiness, not on desire. As for the time between wanting something and being ready for it, that's often when the biggest changes take place. It's not because you did something wrong that this meeting hasn't happened yet. It's not because you are getting in trouble. It's not that God forgot about you. The reason for this is that neither you nor they are fully ready, nor are the conditions that will bring you together. And rushing through that process will make it take even longer. This is something I've learned the hard way. I tried to make things happen when they weren't ready because I was so desperate to connect with someone and so tired of walking alone. I told myself that some people were sent by God just because I wanted them to be. I didn't pay attention to the signs because I didn't want to miss my chance. I was happy with strong emotions because I thought they were destiny. Every single time, those forced connections broke apart because they were too heavy. Because something that is built on desire can't last. Things that are based on fear can't grow. Things that are pushed by impatience can't line up with God's timing. It was very hard for me to learn that it wasn't my job to make it happen. It was my job to be ready when it came. And that's what you have to do now. Prepare, not stressed, not trying hard. Do not worry too much about when, how, or who. Ready to go, based on who you are. Be clear on your calling and sure of your worth, so that when the time comes, you can follow it without any doubts or hesitations. For divine encounters to happen, both people must be ready. You need to do more than just be ready. The other person also needs to be ready. And God, who is infinitely smart, is working on both of you at the same time, making you better on your own, so that when your paths do finally cross, they fit together perfectly. This is why it's so risky to compare yourself to others when you're getting ready. When you see other people who seem to have found their partner and are walking with purpose, you wonder why it hasn't happened to you yet. You start to think you're behind schedule, that you missed something, or that no one is paying attention to you. You don't see their journey though. You don't see the steps they took to get ready. You don't see the work they put in to get better. You don't see the delays they were worried about, or the loneliness they had to deal with. You only see the result, so you think it was easy. It didn't. It doesn't ever. Don't hold your chapter 3 against someone else's chapter 20. Don't use someone else's timeline to judge how ready you are. Don't believe the lie that something will never happen if it hasn't already. That's not true. That's fear. And fear has no place in a life that is guided by God's timing. Pay attention to what's in front of you now instead. Today, think about how God wants you to grow. Pay attention to how He is still healing you, the strength He is still giving you, the clarity that He is still giving you. For every day spent getting ready is not a day wasted. You will work on the part of yourself that will be ready when the time comes. And when that time comes, you'll be glad you had all the time you had to yourself before. You'll know why some people had to leave. You'll understand why some doors had to shut. You will understand that what you thought was a delay was actually divine protection, keeping you safe from connections that could have harmed you, and setting you up for the alignment that will move you forward. The shift in point of view that makes everything different. Don't see getting ready as a punishment. Start to see it as a unique chance. Because not everyone is ready for a meeting with God. Some people aren't refined enough to know when alignment is happening. It's not for everyone to handle a connection that has God's purpose in it. You are, though. That's why you're still here. That's why you're still standing. That's how this message got to you. You are getting ready for something important and holy that will change the course of your life and bring out parts of your calling that you haven't even touched on yet. The person who is coming into your life is also being cared for with the same level of care. They are walking through the process of getting better. It's them getting rid of their own distractions. They are facing the things that scare them. They are becoming more clear about themselves so that when you do meet, it's not a clash of two broken people desperately trying to fix each other. They are two whole people who already know who they are and what they are here to do. They are coming together to make what God is doing in both of their lives bigger. That is the power of being in line with God. That is the result of timing from God. That's what you are getting ready for right now. Don't hate having to wait. Do not dislike the planning. Don't be mad about the wait. Instead, respect it. Take care of it. It can help you become the person who is ready to receive what God is about to give you. Because that moment will come, and it will, and you will need all the strength, wisdom, and clarity you have gained in the silence. This message is almost over. But before we end, I want to remind you of the truth that holds everything together one last time. This is God's message, in a real and honest way, not just as a sign. You are not making up what you have felt, what you have been through, or what you can feel coming up. You were called. And because you were called, your life has gone exactly as planned. No matter how uncertain or random something seemed, there was a hand from God leading every step. Right now, nothing needs to be forced. There you have it, confirmation. What is meant to happen to you has already begun. You don't have to worry, chase, or put pressure on divine timing. You have to trust it. You don't have to work harder to get to the meeting, the change, or the next chapter you feel is coming. It is ready for you to stay in line. You are already in line. You would not have been so affected by this message if you weren't. It would seem far away, exaggerated, or pointless. In its place, it feels steady, familiar, and grounded. Truth comes to the soul in this way when it is ready to receive it. You were brought here on purpose, not because you needed to be persuaded, but because you needed to be sure. God often sends quiet confirmation, not to boost your ego, but to make your spirit stronger. You got this message because you are now more aware of it and can handle it without messing it up. Have faith that being patient doesn't mean doing nothing while you wait. It means being ready on the inside without trying to grab things. It means keeping the truth about what you already know in your life. That you should value your growth and not question how fast it's happening. Being ready inside is not passive. It is a dynamic alignment. The fight you had wasn't for nothing. You became smarter. You learned how to tell right from wrong. It made places strong where they were weak before. There is a battle going on, but it's not meant to kill you. It came to get you ready. Light with a purpose always faces opposition. That resistance couldn't beat you, so it didn't. We need your light. You are no longer being asked to fight to stay alive. Instead, you are being asked to trust enough to receive. The time will come on its own. There won't be chaos when it comes out. It won't demand action right away. That thing will just show up. And you'll know it, because you won't be searching in a vacuum. You are standing on solid ground. This is the quiet authority of God's timing. There's nothing you need to prove. You don't need to hurry everything to happen. You don't have to wonder if you're good enough. You're already there. The alignment you feel won't go away soon. It's earned. Type 777 if you agree with this message and feel calm and sure about something inside you. Spend some quiet time with God to let Him know that you know where you are and trust where you are going. Take this truth with you. You were never forgotten, late, or missed. You were put in place. There was a reason for every season. Every ending made room. Every moment of peace made your inner voice stronger. You're not walking forward by yourself now. Alignment walks with you even when you're by yourself. Being aware goes with you. You can take purpose with you. And no matter what comes your way, you'll be ready for it. Not because you've reached some place that is perfect in every way. You have done the work. Not because you have learned every lesson or healed every wound. You've been through the fire. You've put up with the silence. Growth over comfort, truth over illusion, and purpose over fun are the things you've chosen. And heaven can tell when you are ready. Being ready is what makes divine appointments happen. When you are ready, you can receive what has been planned for you since before you knew you wanted it. Finally, I'd like to leave you with one last thought as this message ends. The meeting that will change your life is not just about meeting someone. It's about becoming the whole person God made you to be. It's about taking pride in your light without saying sorry. It's about following your calling without any doubt. What it means is realizing that you are never normal, never random, and never unimportant. You have been picked. You now have to follow a different set of rules in your life. That means your path won't be the same as everyone else's. It means you will need more trust, faith, and patience on your journey. It does mean that you will have a bigger effect, though. You will have more of an effect. Your name will live on forever. The person who is coming into your life knows this. They can see it. They take it seriously. In their own way, they walk in it. You too will create momentum that changes the mood, opens doors, and moves the kingdom forward in ways you can't even imagine yet. But this is where it all starts. This acknowledgement, this giving up, and this trust that what God has said about you will happen. You were successful not because you changed things or made things happen, but because you stuck with the process, even when it hurt. There is no sense of urgency at the end of this message. Instead, there is peace, not with noise, but with no doubt, not under stress, but with blessing. Don't move. Keep your door open. Believe in the timing. Type 111 if this moved you. Because you know it now without any doubt or fear. Someone called you. Now is the time that was set. The divine meeting is coming up soon, and everything you've been through has been getting you ready for it. Feel free to accept it. You can go into it with confidence, because you know that everything is being planned by God for your good and His glory. You were called, and what's about to happen will show it. This is not the end of what God has planned for you. This is the start of your manifestation. This is God's message, not in a figurative or symbolic way, but in a real and honest way. You are not making up what you have felt, what you have been through, or what you can feel coming up. You were called, and your life has gone exactly as planned because of that. That was true even when things seemed uncertain. Now, nothing needs to be forced. There you have it, confirmation. What is meant to happen to you has already begun. You don't have to worry, chase, or put pressure on divine timing. You already trust each other, so that's a plus. Have faith in the timing, stay open, and don't move. If this message spoke to you, please like this video and send it to someone who needs to hear it right now. Someone else might be waiting for the perfect moment to share your one thing. That act of kindness is itself a way to walk with purpose. Feel free to click the link below to support this channel and its mission if you want to go deeper and keep seeing messages like these. No matter how small your gift is, it helps get this message to more chosen people who are still looking for the confirmation they need. This isn't just a place to watch. You're a part of something important. If you feel aligned, type 777 below. It should be a quiet way for you and God to say that you know where you are and trust where you are going. You were called, and what's about to happen will show it. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step, your abundance awaits.